Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who's going to join us. Alrighty, let's find it here and we'll share with our groups to make sure everybody finds us okay. I did do things a little bit differently this week. We did do some invites. I found where I could do that. So hopefully that makes it easier for some to find us, but wouldn't let me invite everyone. So we did what we could. Here it is. And group. Okay, here we are. VIP, Creative Hearts. Okay. Oh, you know what? It says, let's try it over on Threads too. Open. Post. Okay. That's kind of neat. We can share it on Threads as well. Does it do Instagram? Okay, maybe we can reach more and have come join us. Hey, Sherry, so glad you could join. All right. Oh. No, I guess not. All right, that's okay. That is okay. We're done. All right, we've shared. Hopefully everybody finds us okay. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate that. So first thing up, we do have a couple more days left to get in on the June Paper Pumpkin Full of Charm kit. Last day to subscribe is the 10th to get the June kit. Today's the 8th, so you have 2 days left. This one is going to be send loved ones elevated cards with heartfelt sentiments. You're going to make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs, with 9 coordinating envelopes. The envelopes and card bases will have decorative gold foil. You're going to receive some pre-cut paper pieces and unique sentiment labels. Coordinating colors will be Berry Burst, Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, Mossy Meadow, Pretty Peacock, and Timid Tiger, which is one of our brand new in colors. And your ink spot will be Pretty Peacock. And of course, it will coordinate with the quarters dies. Each quarter, Stampin' Up! Releases a new mini die set that coordinates with that quarter's paper pumpkins. And that would be these right here. That is a add-on, and it is for subscribers only. Next up, we do have our March drop for, May drop. Ooh, we had a May drop for online exclusives, which are pretty freaking fantastic, if I may say so myself. We've been featuring a lot of these sets. My friend Cindy and I are going to be doing a whole class on the blooms. Oh, welcome, Joyce. So glad you could come join. The Impressions of Bloom stamp bundle. So that be on the lookout for that. We will be announcing that class. Actually, tomorrow will be our first announcement of it. It's a pretty cool class. So you're going to be featuring all of the in colors with some really pretty flowers and pretty cards. So that class will be popping out. It will be, I believe we came up with $45 plus shipping to get that class. You will want the Impressions of Bloom bundle that is not included in the class. You can add it on as an add-on, which would change the price of the class, obviously, but we will be adding that on as a discount rate for you. But it's a really cool class, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So something to definitely look at. But anyways, these online exclusives, there are so many fun and adorable sets in here. Totally in love with that online exclusive drop. Have another one coming next month. Oh, hey, Deb. So glad you could make it. Hey, Sue. Hey, Barb. Hello, hello. Anyway, On to, we are currently in the midst of our BOGO sweet sale. Buy one, get one 50% off. And that is all of the sweets in the online exclusives as well as in our new catalog. And all of the components of said sweet. So if you don't want the whole sweet and you just want like just the bundle or just the dies or just the embellishments that are with the sweet, those are part of that 50% off. Now, the caveat with this whole 50% off is that what you're going to get 50% off is the lesser expensive item. So if you bought, say, one suite, we'll just use the Impressions of Bloom suite, and then you wanted the bundle from, say, let's see, what are the other? Let's go back to our online exclusives and let's look to see what other suite we might have here. So you wanted the drink suite here, or not the whole suite, but you just wanted the stamp set maybe. You would get the stamp set at your 50% off. You would pay full price for the whole suite of the Impressions in Bloom. And then the stamp set here that you only wanted, that would be the 50% off item. If you bought both suites, it would be whichever one was the lesser expensive is what you're going to get is your half off item. But it's still an amazing savings and highly recommend that you take advantage of. So that is our sale. And then, of course, Stampin' Up! Has their virtual scrapbooking weekend coming up. That's in July 16th through 18th. Registration is still currently open. It is while supplies last for those kits. If you want to know more about it, please reach out and I will get you hooked up. It sounds like it's going to be a really amazing retreat weekend. You're going to make a 2-page spread for 12 months. You're going to have 24 pages when you're all said and done. You're going to have videos and the works. So definitely something that you're going to want to be involved in. All righty. Now on to important stuff. Stamping. Now, I am hoping my phone is going to last. I forgot to charge it. So by the time I realized I didn't charge it, I only had 20%. So I plugged it in for a few minutes. I got it up to 30%. And now we pray because I'm worried. But anyway, we're going to be optimistic that it's going to work out just fine. It's a new phone. It'll be fine. Pulling up the cards we're making tonight. Love these cards. I could have made tons more if I had more time. This set is awesome. Absolutely awesome. I love the set. But here's the fun fold. Check that out. This is called a column or a pillar pop-out, I think it's called. Pop-up pillar card. So, you see that? Is that not cool? And it does fold flat for mailing. But then it pops out like so. And it says, you're destined for great things. And that little sweet sailboat. I love that sailboat. I think it's adorable. So that is our first card we're going to make tonight. Our second card we're going to make tonight does some ink blending. And we have all of our pretty colors here. We even have our little moon. Oh, I love this card. And this is our new in color Secret Sea to do our little silhouette ship. And of course, it's backed by some Secret Sea as well. We got some embossing back here. And then another simple embossed card, because of course, this set, it is a bundle. You get your stamp set, your dies, and a 3D embossing folder, which is a, what do I want to call it? It's a hybrid embossing folder because it cuts and embosses at the same time. So I did cut and emboss that misty moonlit little shell boat, and I layered it over the top of the basic white one when I embossed without cutting the basic white cardstock, and that just says best wishes and you deserve the best on the inside. So again, super simple, very quick and easy, but they pack a punch. I love this set. And like I said, I could have kept on going, but I ran out of time this morning for designing, and I wished I had had more time. But I will tell you, I have a feeling, so my friend Cindy and I have already decided on for this month's card class to go is going to be the Impressions of Bloom, which will be really, it's actually for July 1st is when that will launch. But we are taking registration starting this week. But I think for August, the sailing set here is going to be it. So it's called Sunrise Sailing. And like I said, you get the dies, the stamp set, and the hybrid embossing folder. They come together like this. And then, of course, your stamp set for your bundle. So by buying them together, you do save 10%, as you would any other bundle. Then we're going to start with, like I said, our fun fold card. So for this card, and there will be card recipes posted on my blog. I don't know if they'll make it tonight, but within the next 24 hours, you will be able to download PDFs for all three of these cards with all of the measurements so that you can recreate them. All right, so we're going to grab our bone folder. We do have a piece of Misty Moonlight, and this is a little bit of a different measurement. It's 5.5 by 8 1/4. Instead of 8.5, it's cut down to 1/4, or cut down by 1/4 for 8 1/4. So it's 5.5, which is standard, by 8 1/4. And then we did some scoring, which I did ahead of time. We scored it 1/2 inch. So we're going to go ahead and use our bone folder to burnish that. Then I scored it at 2 inches. And then 2.5 inches. And then 4 inches. All right, so there's all of our scoring. And this just folds in like so to make our column or pillar, whatever you would like to call it, column or pillar. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some adhesive to this little lip here that we created. We're just going to add that. And then, let's see, so you just line this up with the 4-inch score line. So you just lay it there so it lines up with that score line, and then just close your card. And now we have our column. Okay. All right. So that starts that. Next, I have a piece of basic white. This measures 3.5 by 5 1/4. 3.5 by 5 1/4. And this is for the inside of our card. That's going to layer right up against there, and it's going to be centered otherwise. So you have a nice even border on 3 edges, but we're going to stamp "You're Destined for Greatness." Oh, we need our Misty Moonlight. And where might "You're Destined for Great Things" will this. Ink that up. Oh, hey, Kay. No worries. We're just getting started. What little you did miss, I was just telling everybody, you're going to be able to get all of these measurements and everything from my blog. If not tonight, it will be within the next 24 hours. I will have card recipes for downloadable PDFs with all of the measurements, so that you'll be able to recreate these cards on your own. Because this fun fold, everybody needs to know how to do it because it is so stinking cute. And I am totally in love with this sailing stamp set. This whole bundle. It's Sunrise Sailing, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And it is easy to design with, and I've had so much fun. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and add my adhesive. And the whole time we are praying that my phone holds out because it only has a 30% charge on it, because I wasn't thinking. I have a habit now that I have this new job and I don't get phone calls and texts 24/7. I've gotten into the habit now when I come home from work on the weekend, for the weekend, I leave my phone in my purse and I forget about it. It just stays there and I never give it another thought. And there you have it. And I never gave it a thought until I was like, oh, I need it to go live. And then, oh, I didn't check that. No, should have checked it sooner. Anyhow, here we are saying prayers. All right. So now I have some designer series paper. This is from the Regals. This is the new Regals patterns. My order came this week, so I'm able to use the new patterns now, and these are really, really pretty. So this is the Regals. They come in packs of 40 sheets. You get you get 4 of each color, I should say 4 designs, because it's 2 designs each sheet. So I'm going to pull the cherry cobbler out here. And let me see the other pattern in cherry cobbler. Where are you? There we go. Okay. Just need one sheet. No. All right, just come. All right, here we go. So here's the patterns. So here's one side. So this is just the cherry cobbler. And again, you get 2 sheets of each. And then here's the opposite side. So you have this floral, and then you have this leafy pattern. So really pretty patterns. I really am enjoying these patterns. Not that I didn't enjoy the last year's, but I feel like these ones I can use a little bit more. Anyways, you're going to need 2 pieces, and these are cut 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. So 1 1/4 by 5 1/4, and that's for each of these panels. So I'm going to go ahead and add my adhesive. I'm using Seal Plus. You use whatever it is that you prefer. And also just a reminder, we have until the 15th to place any orders in my online store if you want that pop and buy card class from last week. I am in the process of getting those ready to go out. But you do have a few more days to place that $40 order to get that. And I am going to highly recommend, if you don't already have this set, to grab it, because two things. One, it's absolutely flipping amazing. It's like probably becoming one of my favorite sets. And two, I can guarantee you August, this will be our card class, and you'll already have, oh, hey, sis. You'll already have it, and you'll be ready to rock and roll on that class when we release it. All right, so there's the first part of our column card. Next, I have a rectangle that I die cut from some Misty Moonlight, and I already cut that. That came from the Textured Notes dies. I used the fifth one counting out, so 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth one right there. It has that little dashed cut border. Then I have another piece of basic white. This measures 2 3/8 by 3 1/8, and that fits perfectly. Oops. In that space of this particular die cut piece. So this piece here, we are going to need, what did I do? Yeah, this is just an old online exclusive. We're just going to stamp on that because we're going to make a little messy here. We need, where did that go? We have our little water or waves, whatever you want to call that. We need our Misty Moonlight. And we're going to go ahead and ink that up for our water. All right. And towards the bottom here, we have our water. Okay. Next, we need our little birds. And I'm going to stamp these 3 times. So I need to ink him up. First one is going to go up here. Next one there. And then this one is going to zip right out there. So you're going to save that. We're going to set that aside. And I have a scrap of basic white. And we need our sweet little sailboat. He's going to stamp like so. Close that up. Prevent any catastrophes. Okay. I'll set that aside. And then we need our real red. So we're bringing that in. And we have the little stripes for our sails. All right, so now, let's see. I apologize if my head is in there. But there's our sails. And with photopolymer, the reds do tend to stain, but it's no big deal. It's going to still work just fine. One thing I'm going to do differently on this one that I didn't do on the original is I am going to do the real red inside of our boat too. So we're going to go right there. Just like so. We can close that up. We need our dies. What did I do with the dies? Oh, they are. We need our little ship. And you get a lot of extras. We have these solid sailboats here. That sail here goes with this one. This sail goes with this little boat. You have a couple of clouds. You have the dies to cut out your birds. And then we have these water pieces that can give you the rippled water effect. You could have a lot of fun with those dies. Just saying. All right. So for now, though, we do have this one. We're going to get a couple pieces of our post-it tape. Okay. Let's get this all lined up. Oop. There we go. Nope. Then it moved again. Oh, for the love. Maybe we should start down here. It's going to keep moving. It's not cooperating at all. Okay, there we are. Now we can bring in our baby boss. That shifted again. I'll be danged. What is going on? That's because I'm on camera. I had no problems this afternoon. It lined right up. Everything went smoothly. All right, let's try it again. Okay, let's see how we did. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, and what did I do? Oh, I put the dies away, so we'll set that aside for now. Okay. We're moving along. We're moving along. Doing okay. Okay. Now we can bring back our panel here. I'm going to add our adhesive. And we're just going to go ahead and set that into that little space there. There we go. We can take our dimensionals. I do use a couple of little tiny dimensionals here. Oh, I don't have my little pokey tool here. Wait, I do have my pokey tool. For these little ones, I find it easiest to pick up with a pokey tool. And then we need our bigger ones. Okay. I will let them know you said hello there, Sherry. Tucky's having a rough weekend. Yesterday, we found a tick on him. And trying to get it out was not a fun process. So today we've been doing the Neosporin and peroxide to get it so he doesn't get an infection. I mean, I think we got all the tick out, but it was embedded in him so badly. And then this morning he got his flea and tick medicine, which is an oral tablet that's supposed to taste like a beef treat. Well, he doesn't seem to think so. He's worse than a little kid taking medicine. So that was a battle royale. I have no words. So he's just having a rough day now because now he's mad at mommy for forcing him to take a pill. All right, so now I'm going to do some adhesive. Now, this is going to attach to this little strip here. We want to make sure our adhesive stays below and above where the end of our. So now we're going to center this on here. And we can go ahead and press that down just like so. And that is the basis of our fun fold. So now, just to finish this up, I do have here some rhinestone basic jewels. I love rhinestones. And they make everything sparkle and pretty. And I'm going to use a couple of the larger ones. We're going to put one right there. One right there. And then a little one right in there. And that, and this is just card number 1. Now, question, do you prefer the one with the red base or keeping it white and clean? I think I like the red. I think it just pops it out a little bit more. You like the red too? Me too. But fun, easy fun fold. I hope you all give it a try. Like I said, I will have measurements out there on my blog. If not tonight, it will be tomorrow. All right, next up. Nope, not this one. This one. It's going to be our congratulations. And it's a really cute card. Again, super simple, just a little bit of ink blending and fun. I have a thick basic white card base, 8.5 by 5.5. So it's our normal standard card base. I'm going to take our bone folder and burnish that fold. Like so. Then we have a piece of, what did I do with it? Here it is. Basic white. It's 5 1/4 by 4. And I ran it through using our So Swirly embossing folder. This is just a standard embossing folder. It's not one of the 3Ds, but it still gives you a really deep, beautiful impression. The ticks are terrible, Cher, especially right now. I mean, they're awful here. Oops. I'll be digging around on the floor looking for that embossing folder. It just hit the floor like everything else around here does. But yeah, they're awful. And he had a very bad night last night trying to get it out. He did not like mommy and daddy yanking on it, and it was embedded deep. It was terrible. And I blame myself because I didn't give him his medicine right away because we took him to the vet to get his medicine, but he was so stressed out over that. And he gets so stressed out taking medicine. I thought, well, let me give him a few days to calm down because I didn't want him throwing it up either because he was all in a tither over going to the vet. But I guess I should have just did it anyway. All right, there is our embossed piece. This is so swirly. Then I have a piece of the Secret C. This measures 3 1/4 by 4.5. And I have a piece of basic white that is 3 inches by 4 1/4 to layer. But before we do any of that, I have, and I used, where is it? My Stylish Shapes dies. I used the largest circle and the smallest circle to cut out my masking paper. And I saved it. So we're using the same piece right here. So I just have it on the back of my stamp box. So we're going to go ahead. Whoop. Peel it up. Our masking paper does stick very, very well. You just want to be careful you don't tear it, especially in these areas where it's a little bit scarce. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I'm gonna try to get this Nope, that's not centered. Okay, I think that should be it. There we go. And that's going to help pull it down to my work surface. And I have Misty Moonlight, Azure Afternoon, and for the sunrise, sunset, I'm using Timid Tiger and Strawberry Slush. So those are two of our in colors. So we'll start with our, excuse me. Oh, I forgot my little sun. There we go. We need, I'm going to start with our blues. We're going to start with our Misty Moonlight. And I need my blot. We're going to use this for our blotting. All right, so we're just going to go ahead, pick up that blue. And I'm just going to start here at the bottom. And I'm not putting a lot of pressure, just a light coating of color. Then switch to the Azure Afternoon. You got it, sis. I was cracking up over AI, artificial intelligence. That's what it came up with for Tucker and I as an action figure. Everybody else was doing it, so Tucker and I decided to do it too. All right, so there's our water. It's so pretty. Doesn't that look like a nice peaceful scene? Who doesn't want to be out there on the water floating around on a sailboat? I know I would love to be. All right, next, Strawberry Slush. Okay. And then right here, going above the blue, we're in with our strawberry. And again, just a very light touch. And swirl in that color. Like so. And then close that up and bring in, oops, Timid Tiger. Okay. That takes care of all that. And before we remove our mask, I am going to bring in the Secret C. And we want this water stamp. Like right about there. Like so. Close that up. And now we can go ahead and carefully remove our mask. Okay, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and put this right back on my stamp case. We're just going to well, somehow. All right. Somehow this got all twisted. And it may not be something I can. You know what? We got lots of paper. Masking paper. We can do that again. We're not going to mess with it. There we go. And there is our little sun. Isn't she pretty? Now we can go ahead and stamp congratulations. And again, we're using the Secret C ink pad. And we're going to ink that up. And congratulations. Okay, now we can go ahead, add our adhesive. That takes care of that. Then we need dimensionals. Cards are so quick and easy. And like I said, I loved making these cards. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and set that there in the center like so. Then we have a scrap of the Secret C, and we need this and this. Let's get that on like so. We are going to cut out our little silhouette sailboat. Need to poke our little piece out there. Oop. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Now we're just going to add a little adhesive to this little sail here. Roll that back. And then this attaches there we go. Then we need dimensionals. And there and there. I didn't put any on the base. We'll go ahead. There. And next, rhinestones to complete our card. All right. We are cooking with some gas now. We are on our last card, which is, again, super, super simple. We have a Misty Moonlight card. Oops, card base. Don't lose that. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to fold on that score line and burnish that out with our bone folder. Next, I have 2 pieces of basic white, both measuring 5 1/4 by 4. One for the inside, one for the outside. The inside piece we are going to stamp. Well, I gotta find Misty Moonlight ink. Oh my goodness, there it is. Inside gets stamped with "You Deserve the Best," and somehow it got all curvy in there. That's still not perfectly straight, but we're going to use it anyway. It is an amazing set, Sue. I'm telling you, I am completely in love with the set. And like I said, I've only tickled the surface of creativity and ideas that I have with this set. That's why I know this is going to be the August class class to go. Because there's just so many more ideas to use this with. Okay, so "You Deserve the Best" goes on the inside of this card. Oop, there goes my tea. Thank God there's a cover on it. I got things flying all over here. I do not understand. Cover that for just a moment. We're going to go ahead and add our adhesive and put this right on the inside of our card because the way I'm dropping things, we'll be fishing this out from under the table. So before that happens, let's put it where it belongs. Okay, there's that. Now, front of the card, we need our, oh goodness, embossing folder. This is the hybrid embossing folder. So we need to emboss twice. First time, our basic white piece. And I want my ship to be slightly off to the right of my card. Not that. Oops, like so. Let's try to get it straight. We don't want it to look like a drunk ship. There, that looks pretty good. So we're off to the right of the card. So I'm going to go ahead and put this through the big boss because this is one of them big 6x6 folders. Has to go through the big boss. So I'm running that through. And there she is. She's so pretty. Look at that. Next, we need our Misty Moonlight because that is also going to be embossed. But we need our, where is it? There it is. Our ship or our sailboat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this up and it's going to just sit in there like so. And then I'm going to take my Misty Moonlight piece. And we're going to run this through the big boss again. So now we have this. Do you see the detail in there from the embossing? I love it. I think it's so cool. All right, so now we're just going to set that aside. And we're going to bring these back in. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of my adhesive on these sails. And then, and I'm going to put a little on here too. And then this is going to lay right over the top of the white. Easy peasy. Now, just going to slowly and carefully adhere my adhesive to my embossed piece. And try not to tear it because Seal Plus is powerful and it does like to tear embossed paper. But as long as you're careful, it can be done. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and layer this onto our card front. Just like so. Then I have here a 1/2 inch wide piece of basic white. Length really doesn't matter as long as it's long enough. And that is for Best Wishes. I just got to find. Here it is, Best Wishes. We're going to keep it monochromatic with our Misty Moonlight ink pad. And this one, I'm going to stamp to the far right, like so. Close that up. Our snips. And I'm just going to cut that off at an angle. That goes into my scraps. Add adhesive. And that lines up right here. And again, rhinestones. Oops. And that is our final card for this evening. Oh, Barb, this bundle is fabulous. I would definitely tell you this is a must absolutely have. All right, so there's card number 3. Here's card number 2. And as you saw, none of these cards was difficult. There's our fun fold. %. I love the detail on that embossing folder, Kay. It is so awesome. And like I said, I didn't even scratch the surface of this set yet. There's so much more that can be done with it. Like I said, there's cloud dies, there's water dies. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like them. I appreciate that. Well, that is all I have for you tonight, ladies. Again, thank you so very much for coming to hang out with me. I really, truly appreciate each and every one of you. God willing, I will be back next week with some more fun cards to share with you. In the meantime, I wish you all a fabulous evening. Wait, next week isn't. No, it's the week after. Okay, so I will be back next week. Because, like I said, as long as God's willing, all is well with the world, I will be here next week. The week after Father's Day, we will not be live so that everybody can spend time with their dads, husbands, and whatnot. So we will take that week off. Otherwise, have a fabulous rest of your evening and an even better week ahead. And I will catch you on the next week. Bye for now, guys.